In this tutorial, we shall see the Gaussian elimination. Gaussian elimination. What is Gaussian elimination? So we have Gauss-Jordan elimination and we have Gaussian elimination. So this is the Gaussian elimination. The Gaussian elimination, it is just involved the converting the system into what? Into REF, which means it converts the system into row echelon form by what? By using the row operations. So therefore, Gaussian elimination, it is also known as what? Row echelon form. Row echelon form. But why the Gauss-Jordan elimination? It is what? Reduced row echelon form. We have to differentiate between the two. Gaussian elimination, row echelon form, and why the Gauss-Jordan elimination is what? Reduced row echelon form. So first we are given this question. How can we solve this question? As you can see in the last video, we talked about the Cramer's rule. The question that we have been given is like this question. So, but this question say we are to use the what? The Gaussian elimination. So we have to first make our what? Augmented matrix. Augmented what? Matrix. What is augmented matrix? Let's see it together. Augmented matrix is what? We are to pick the coefficient of what? Of x, coefficient of y, and also the coefficient of what? Coefficient of z. So I will have 1, 2, I will have 3, and therefore 2, 3, 1, and therefore I will have 3, 1, 2, and then I will have 9, 8, 7. So this is what we call what? The augmented matrix. So how can we use the row echelon form to simplify this Gaussian elimination? So in Gaussian elimination, we are to make these two to be 0, and also we are to make these ones to become 0, and also we are to make this what? These two to become what? To become 0. So therefore, how can we use that? How can we use the row echelon form to make these two to be 0 and also 1 to be 0? You have to know that we are using what? The row operations. So to make it easier for you, you have to first make the 2 to be what? To be 0. So now how can I make these 2 to be 0? Let me say that from row 2, I will say that row 2 minus what? Minus 2 multiplied by what? By row 1. The reason why I say row 2 minus 2 multiplied by row 1 is that I have to make these 2 to be 0. And therefore, row 2, it is what? From this row, the first row I have 2. Row 2. So therefore, minus what? 2 multiplied by row 1. From row 1, I'm having what? 1. If I say 2 multiplied by 1, I am having 2. So therefore, I will say 2 minus what? 2 minus 2, which is 0. So you see that I make what? I make these 2 to become what? To become 0. I hope you get it. So this is the only way that I can what? That I can say that these 2 should become what? Should become 0. So therefore, let's move together. I have to keep this row the same as it is, 2, 3, 9, and also I will have 3, 1, 2, and what? And 7. So this becomes what? This becomes 0. I hope you get it. So therefore, also row 2, there is one thing that I need you to know. You are not doing for only what? For only the places that you're supposed to have 0. But rather, if you do for the what? For the first part, and also you do for the what? For the complete row. If you start from the first, you must go to the end. So therefore, row 2, which is 3, and therefore minus what? 2 multiplied by what? This is row 1 multiplied by what? 2. So therefore 3 minus what? 3 minus 4, which is equals to what? Minus what? Minus 1. So therefore I'm having what? Minus 1 here. So for 1, row 2, which is 1, minus what? 2 multiplied by R1, which is 3, which is equals to 1 minus what? Minus 6, which is equals to what? Minus 5. So therefore I have minus 5 here. The next thing to do is I have to come for the 8. 8, row 2, which is what? 8. And therefore minus 2 multiplied by what? Row 1, which is what? Which is 9. So therefore 8 minus what? 2 multiplied by 9, it is what? 18. So therefore 8 minus 18, which will be equals to what? Minus 10. So therefore I'm having what? Minus 10 here. So therefore I have another what? Augmented matrix. So therefore the next thing to do is I have to make what? I have to make this tree to be what? To be 0 again. So what should I do here? The next thing to do, I just want to make this tree to be 0. So how can I do? So let me say that R3, this is what? This is row 3. So let me say R3 minus what? Minus what? Let me say 3 what? 3R1. Okay, sorry, let me say 3 what? Yeah. 3 what? 3R1. I hope you get it. So what should I say? If I say 3, row 3, which is 3 minus what? 3 what? Multiply by what? 3 multiplied by what? 1. This is what? The row 1. So therefore I will have 1. So therefore it will become 3 minus what? 3 times 3, which is what? 3 times 3. Okay, sorry, 3 times 1, which is 3, and therefore it is equals to what? It is equals to 0. So therefore you can see I make 3 to be what? To be 0. I hope you get it. I just say row 3 minus what? Row 3 subtract by what? 3 multiplied by what? Row 1. Because if I multiply 3 by row 1, I will still have the same what? 3. So therefore 3 minus what? 3, because I'm having 3. Because I want to make 3 to be 0. So therefore 3 minus what? 3, which is what? 0. So therefore let me have the new matrix, new augmented matrix here. 1, 3, okay, sorry, 1, 2. And therefore 0 minus what? Minus 1, minus 5, and what? 9. And therefore minus what? Minus 10. So therefore here becomes what? It becomes 0. So now let me edit forward. Okay, sorry, I deleted R what? R3 minus what? I say 3 what? 3R1. So therefore R3, which is 1 minus what? Minus 3 multiplied by what? R1. 3 multiplied by 2, which is equals to 1 minus 6, which is equals to what? Minus 5. So therefore I have minus 5 here. The same thing. 2 minus what? 3 multiplied by row 1, which is 3, which is equals to 2 minus what? 9, and which is equals to what? It is equals to what? Minus what? Minus 7. So therefore I have minus 7 here. And then 7, which is row 3, minus what? 3, which is row 1 multiplied by what? 9, which is equal to 7 minus what? 20 what? 7 minus what? 27. 9 times 3, it is what? 27. So therefore I'm having what? Minus what? Minus 20. So therefore it will become what? Minus 20. So the next step is to make this negative 5 to be what? to V0. So how can I make this negative 5 to V0? How? So can I say that, let me say row what? Row 2 minus what? Minus 5 row what? Row what? Row 3. Did you get it? So let's check whether we can get 0 here. I have R2. What is R2? My R2 is what? Minus what? Minus 1. And then I have positive. Minus minus, which is plus what? 5 multiply by what? Multiply by minus what? Row 3, which is what? Minus 5. So therefore, I'll have minus what? 1. 5 multiply, it will become 25. So therefore, I will not what? I will not get 0 there. So therefore, let me say that if I say row what? Let me say row 3 minus what? Minus 5 row what? Row 2. So therefore, row 3 is what? Row 3 is minus 5. Yeah. Minus what? 5 multiplied by row 2, which is what? Minus 1. Yeah. And therefore, minus what? Minus 5. Minus 5 multiplied by what? Minus 5 multiplied by minus 1. I'm having what? I'm having positive what? Positive 5. Yeah. And then minus what? I will have plus what? Plus what? Plus 5. So therefore, it will become minus and what? Minus plus, it will become what? Negative. Minus what? Minus 5. Minus 5 minus what? Minus 5. Still the same thing. I'm having what? I'm having 10. But so we make it always twice, but it doesn't make sense because we can't get 0 in here. So the next thing to do, we have to first look towards to our second row. We have to eliminate this negative sign. Let me say minus what? If I multiply what? Minus 1 with what? With row what? With row 2. If I say minus 1 multiply by minus 1, I will have 1 minus what? Minus what? Minus 1 multiply by what? Row 2. I will end up having positive, positive, positive. So that is the only way that we can find the right solution. So let me say 1, 2, 3, 9, and therefore 0, 1, 5, and then what? 10, and then 0, minus 5, minus 7, and then what? Minus what? Minus 20. So let me apply the rule that, sorry, not rule, the operation that I put before what? Before eliminating the negative signs. So let me say what? Let me say row 3 minus what? Minus what? Negative 5 multiplied by what? Multiplied by what? By row 2. So the new matrix will be 1, 2, 3. Sorry, not matrix, augmented matrix. 0, 1, 5, 10. And therefore I have 0 here. So let me see, or either I can get 0 from what? From the negative 5. Row 3, it is what? Minus 5. Minus what? Minus what? Bracket minus 5 multiplied by what? Row 2. Row 2, which is what? Which is what? 1. So therefore this will be equals to what? Minus 5. This will become positive multiplied by 5. So therefore 5 will go with 5. We get 0. So therefore have 0 here. The next thing to do, R3. which is what? Minus 7 minus what? Minus 5 multiplied by what? Multiplied by 5. Minus what? Minus 7. 5 multiplied by what? 5, which is 25. Minus 25, it will become what? Plus what? Plus 25, and therefore it will become what? 18. So therefore I have what? 18 here. And therefore, the next thing to do is I will have row 3, which is negative 20 minus what? Minus 5 multiplied by row 2. My row 2 is what? My row 2 is 10. So therefore, I will multiply by what? By 10. 5 times 10, which is what? 50. Therefore, minus what? Minus 20. Minus 20 what? Plus what? Minus 20. Sorry, I'll have negative sign. Okay, sorry. 5 times what? 5 times 10? 0, and therefore 5, which is what? 50. So therefore, it will become plus what? Plus 50. Therefore, minus 20 plus 50, which will be equals to exactly 30. So therefore, I'm having what? I'm having 30. So therefore, as you can see, this is the what? End of what? Of this matrix. So therefore, as you can see, I make this 0. This becomes 0. So the next thing to do is to find what? Is to find x, y, and what? And z. So how can I find them? So this is what z. So I will say 18z, it is equals to what? It is equal to 30. If I divide both sides by 18, divide both sides by what? 18. 18 will cancel 18. So therefore z, it is equals to what? It is equals to what? 30 over what? Over 18. Yeah. So we have 30 over 18, which is the same thing as what? As 5 over what? 5 over 3. So therefore, the value of what? The value of z, the value of what? The value of z, it is equal to what? 5 over what? 5 over 3. So therefore, let's see the value of what? Value of y. I have y plus what? Plus 5z, which is what? 5 over 3, which is equals to what? Which is equals to 10. 5 times 5, which is what? 5 times 5, 25. So therefore, 25 over 3, which is equals to what? Which is equals to 10. And then y, it is equals to what? 10 minus what? Minus what? Minus 25 over what? Minus 25 over 3. And therefore, the LCM is what? Yeah, LCM is 3. Yeah, is 1. 3 into 1, which is 3. 3 times 10, which is what? 30. And then minus 3 into 3, which is 1. And therefore, 1 times 25, which is what? Which is 25. And therefore, I'm having what? 5 over what? 5 over 3 again. So therefore, the value of what? The value of y, it is also 5 over what? 5 over 3. So therefore, let me find the value of the first, which is what? The value of x. So therefore, I can't find the value of x if I'm not having what? Y and what? And z. And therefore, I can't find the value of y if I'm not having z. So therefore, from the what? I have what? X, y. Sorry, I have x, and therefore plus what? Plus 2y. And therefore plus what? Plus 3z, which is equals to what? 9. And therefore x plus what? 2 multiplied by what? 5 over what? 5 over 3. And therefore what? Yes, here is multiplication. And therefore plus 3 multiplied by also 5 over what? 3, which is equal to 9. 3 will cancel what? 3 will cancel 3. Therefore x plus what? 2 multiplied by 5, which is what? 5 times 2, which is 10 over what? Over 3. And therefore what? Plus what? Plus 5, which is equals to 9. And therefore x, it is equals to what? 9 minus what? I have to first find the LCM between LCM between this, because I'm having multiplication. So therefore the LCM, which is what? 3. 3 into 3, 1. 1 times 10, which is what? 10. And therefore plus 3 into 1, which is 3. 3 multiplied by 5, which is what? Which is 15. And therefore it is equals to what? It's equals to 25 over what? 25 over what? Over 3. So therefore I'm having 9 minus what? Minus 25 over 3. So therefore again, the LCM, which is 3. The LCM is also what? Also 3. So therefore 3 into 1, which is what? 3. And therefore 3 multiplied by 9, which is 27. So therefore 27 minus what? 3 into 3, which is 1. 1 times 25, which is what? 25. 25 minus 27 minus 25, which will be equals to 2 over what? 3. So therefore the value of x, it is equals to 2 over what? Over 3. So therefore this is the end of this question. I have the value of x, the value of y, and also the value of what? Z. So therefore this is Gaussian elimination method, which is what? The row echelon form. I hope this video is more helpful to you in solving different kind of question under the Gaussian elimination. But you have to take note on these rows, and rest. How you can minus row 2 with another row, and you have to create another number or assume another number in order to what? In order to find what? Or let me say to get 0 in what? In these three what? In row 1, okay, sorry, in row 2, the first element should be 0, and also in row 3, the first two elements should be 0. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and comment, like, and share to your friends. Have a nice day.